So in last week's video, we showed instantiating an object and calling the methods inside that class. So now, for some reason, this week we're doing variable declaration and constants, which is kind of like switching 2 weeks around, I would say. But alright, so let's use the person driver class for this. We already have our class set up in anyway, so let's do everything inside here. So let me just comment everything out. So it also discusses comments in week 3. This comment here is to comment a block of code. See, it starts there and it ends here. Then the other comment that is just a line is the double forward slash. Now Java doesn't read any of this, so this won't execute at all. It's just for us to read. Okay, so let's start with variable declaration and assigning some values to it. Okay, so a variable gets declared by first typing the type of variable you want. So for instance, if we want a string, we say string, okay, in space. Then we say the variable name. So for instance, let's say we want to store a name or a student ID or something that requires something that we want to store. For instance, like name. And then we get the assignment operator, which is just an equals. Now our assignment operator takes the right hand side, whichever value we give it, and assigns it to the left hand side. So in this case, we want to give it a string, so we say inverted comma, and we above, and we close the line by using the semicolon. Okay, so the tree just takes the value pop, and it stores it into our variable name of type string. Now, also notice that string as a primitive data type isn't technically a primitive data type, it's technically an object. So that's why it has a capital S. The rest of the primitive data types have lowercase, so it's int or boolean. So just take note of that. Okay, so then declaring a constant. Let's make it an instance variable. So our constant would be, we use the keyword final. Ignore the private part, we can make that public as well, or we can just leave it. So just focus on final, and then our constant name. Usually we use, the naming convention is usually all caps. So if we want to call it, let's say the person's, I don't know, cell phone number. So let's say cell phone in all caps equals, okay, sorry, we got the data type, int cell phone, something like that. Okay, so this final keyword just says that this variable that we made here should be constant and it can't be changed. So I can't say cell phone inside here and give it a new value. It's gonna complain. Okay, it just says errors for some reason. It doesn't give a specific. Let's just make this answer, just to make sure. Yeah, there we go. Cannot assign a value to final variable cell phone. Okay, so our variable will always have this value. And we can't change it. So it's useful in some cases where we have like a constant value that we have to use the whole time. So let's say we have like a calculations class, and we always want to use gravity in our calculations. Then instead of just typing 9.1 the whole time, we can just make a variable called gravity. and set it to 9.1. Sorry, 9.8. Yeah, so that's just our constant variables, and then it also just explains, just check, I didn't think it explains anything else from variables and constants. That's basically this weak. It doesn't show anything more or fancy. Yeah, it just says that we can assign whatever is on the right hand side to the left hand side, and we can concatenate, say, a string with plus signs. So if we want our string to say Bob is walking. Okay, take notes of the space here. This will actually add a space between Bob and is walking. If we had no space, it would output, let me just do this. If we had no space, it would output Bob is walking, like that. And adding a space there is just adding the space. Okay. So that's week 3. Nothing fancy. Yeah, I think this week 2 and week 3 should have been switched around, but alright.